सर्वः प्रचोदयात्। शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
We offer our prayerful pranams at the lotus feet of our dearest Swami and welcome you all to the 20th anniversary celebrations of Sri Satya Sai Media Center.
It was in the year 2001, during Swami's birthday celebrations, that Swami launched the Radio Sai Global Harmony that would carry his divine voice to the entire world. So yes, it is 20 years since that beautiful day.
Yeah, and if you see, Radio Sai was born on Bhagwan's birthday in 2001. So it was on November 23rd that Bhagwan gifted us Radio Sai.
Absolutely.
But then why are we celebrating August 29th as the Radio Sai Day? It is because it was on this day that Bhagwan gave us this facility. Bhagwan himself came to this premises, walked every inch of this sacred space, blessed every equipment we had, spent with us an hour giving us directions about how we should do this sacred task. And that memory of Bhagwan coming to us, giving us this beautiful home is so special for us that we relive that divine gift that he has given us. We relive this visit of Bhagwan to the Radio Sai studio and celebrate August 29th as the Radio Sai Day.
Oftentimes when people ask us, when is your birthday? Some of us have the habit of telling the day we had Swami's darshan as our birthday. Though the body was born on a particular day, the day when we had the opportunity to be blessed by his vision is considered the true birthday. And in that sense, yes, we do share the birthday of Radio Sai with Bhagwan's birthday, but the 29th of August is indeed very, very special for us because Swami not only spent so much time in this very precincts that we are talking to you from, but he also gave us very, very valuable advice and instructions.
In fact, before we come to what Bhagwan told us, what is very interesting is, even before Bhagwan gave us this space in 2002, even before Radio Sai was inaugurated a year before in November 2001, even before there was any discussion about Radio Sai, which started in October 2001, in August 2001, when this building was just a EHV building, it was called Education and Human Values Building, where satsangs used to happen. And Bhagwan told one of our very senior brothers, boy, you go and work there. From there, my message will reach out to the entire world. No one had any clue what was Bhagwan's profound message, how prophetic those words were when you think about it now, isn't it?
Absolutely. And talking about prophetic words, when Swami was seated here, probably a few feet away from where we are standing right now, Swami made many profound revelations that we are seeing today as we are working in the media center. Many of the things that he said are seeing the light of the day today. And not only that, as we said, Swami gave us a lot of instructions, but we would like to start by recollecting one very important message that Swami reiterated that day. And Swami said very categorically, I have nothing to do with this facility. What does he need it? He is after all the Hridayavasi. But he said that there is a devotee who has come forward and has created this facility with the idea that this should benefit other devotees. So you must work in such a way that you express gratitude to that noble feeling that has become this entire setup. And that day Swami spoke so much about the value of gratitude and expressing that gratitude in the way you work.
Yes, absolutely. In fact, Gratitude was one of the central messages that he gave on that day. He spent nearly 45 minutes speaking to all the staff who were part of Radio Sai then. And when you look at any of Bhagwan's projects, it is always someone who is an instrument. It is always someone's pure thought that Bhagwan allows. Look at any major project of Bhagwan. It was someone's prayer, just like it was Mother Ishwaramma's prayer for all the mammoth projects. Here also it was the same. Although it is the divine master plan, but at the end of the day, it was also the pure intent and sacrifice of few individuals. And Swami kept insisting that all these facilities have come because someone with so much love has come forward and made this facility available for you. So be grateful. Do things in a manner that will make him happy. Do things in a manner that all the resources that has been spent are utilized in the best manner possible to take this message to the entire world.
And as we begin this beautiful day celebrating 20 years of Radio Sai at the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center, we take this opportunity to express our gratitude to each one of you. Because as we often say,
Yes.
if there is nobody to perform Shravanam, you cannot do Kirtanam. And only when there is Shravanam and Kirtanam, there can be Smaranam. And you have given us this opportunity to utilize our energy, our time, our life in the service of our dear beloved Bhagwan. And for that, we must start first of all by expressing a deep sense of gratitude to each one of you. And this gratitude comes to you from every member of the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center. And as we talk about gratitude, there is another set of individuals for whom we are extremely beholden. And they are the volunteers without whom this entire unit will not be able to function even for a single day.
Absolutely. We cannot even think about the number of people who have joined hands with us through this beautiful journey. And when you really think about how Swami has sent the right person at the right time, whenever we wanted to start something, he will send exactly the perfect person. You think how this will happen. And those are the moments you know that he is making it happen. And today, we sincerely, from our hearts, words are not adequate really to express how much we feel for every single person who has contributed. There are people who have given 1 hour, there are people who have given 10 hours, there are people who have given large chunks of their youth in the growth of this institution. And Bhagwan has blessed each one of them in very, very unique ways. And today, we really, really want to express our sincere gratitude to all those volunteers as well as all the listeners, because it is your words of encouragement, your words of inspiration that has always kept us going. Every time you speak, we feel it is Bhagwan who is speaking to us and giving us that direction, giving us that inspiration. So, really, we express our sincerest gratitude to each one of you on this momentous occasion.
And it is but befitting to begin this program with a contribution from one of our senior most and a volunteer with whom we have worked extensively. Many of you might, who follow the Telugu channel, might have heard the many beautiful songs that are created every time there is a festival, every time there is an anniversary. Shri M.S. Prakash Rao, a very senior devotee who has written many plays that have been staged before Swami, is one of the volunteers who has worked very closely with us, especially with the Telugu team. And even I'm sure he's been on the Bhajan Tutor program too on a couple of times. So we're going to begin with a beautiful Telugu poem that he has composed. When we told him that, sir, we want one poem from you, and he wrote this specially for this occasion. So we begin by offering this Telugu poem at Bhagwan's lotus feet.
And talking about Telugu, we just want to tell you that the YouTube channel is called Sri Sathya Sai Sandesha Jhari. And today, you will find every other day new uploads happening in this channel. And in 2011 itself, it became a completely 24-hour radio channel, and slowly we have started the YouTube channel, and lots of videos are there for all the people who want to listen to Bhagwan's message in Telugu and listen to his programs in the language that Swami loved to speak. So we thank all the Telugu volunteers who have been with us on this journey. As we begin this program, we want to begin with a contribution of a very, very dedicated volunteer, Mr. M.S. Prakash Rao.
ఓం శ్రీ సాయిరామ్. మన ప్రియతమ భగవాన్ దివ్య శ్రీచరణాలకు అనంతకోటి ప్రణామాలు. విశ్వవ్యాప్తంగా శ్రీ సత్యసాయి మీడియా సెంటర్ తెలుగు కార్యక్రమాల్ని వింటున్నటువంటి అసంఖ్యాకమైన శ్రోతలకి ప్రేమపూర్వక సాయిరామ్. సాయి ప్రేమే సాయి సేవ. కవిత. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం, ప్రేమలతకు పూచిన నవ పారిజాతము, కరుణా జలపాతము, జన్మ జన్మ సత్కర్మల పూజాఫలము, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధారకు సంకేతము, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధార సందేశము. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం. అహంకారం అణిచివేయు హరిపాదము, జన్మకర్మ బంధాలను త్రుంచే వజ్రాయుధం, సర్వవేద సారము ప్రేమకు ప్రతిరూపము, జవము జీవము మనకు సేవా పథము, సాయి సేవా పథము. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధారకు సంకేతము, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధార సందేశము. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం. సర్వజీవ సమభావం మదినింపే బోధన, తనువు మనసు సర్వం సాయికే నివేదన, మనిషి మనిషిలో సాయిని చూపే ఆరాధన, జీవుని దేవుని చేసే దివ్య సాధన. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధారకు సంకేతము, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధార సందేశము. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం. సంఘసేవ సర్వేశ్వర సేవన్నది సాయి మాట, సేవను మించిన పూజే లేదన్నది సాయి బాట. అణువణువున సాయిని దర్శింపచేయు సాయి ప్రేమ, మరుజన్మే లేని ముక్తినందించును సాయి సేవ. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం, ప్రేమలతకు పూచిన నవ పారిజాతము, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధారకు సంకేతము, సత్యసాయి ప్రేమసుధాధార సందేశము. అందుకో సత్యసాయి సేవా కుసుమం. జై సాయిరామ్.
Om Shri Sai Ram. The Shri Satya Sai Media Center functions under the umbrella of the Shri Satya Sai Central Trust. It is because of the constant support of the trust that the media center has grown. In fact, in June 2020, the Shri Satya Sai Central Trust upgraded all the facilities and created 3 state-of-the-art recording studios. We express our gratitude to all the trustees on this occasion. Here are some of their reflections on this landmark occasion.
What does one say to a 20-year-old just crossed teenage, getting into youth, growing to be a man or woman as the case may be, taking family responsibilities, growing the family, becoming old, and continuing to live forever and ever and ever. That is the wish I have for Radio Sai. My recollection of Radio Sai goes back for over 20 years, when the idea of allowing internet into the ashram first cropped up. And it germinated during a small conversation I had with Bhagwan, when I mentioned to Bhagwan that internet has so many good things. Internet makes everybody get connected to Swami. But Swami's instantaneous reaction was, Anta pichi pichine undi dantlo. Said all wrong things are there in it. So in my youth, I very boldly mentioned to Swami, Swami, there are good things and there are bad things. There are bad things in the world everywhere. But with you and your touch, everything will become good. Therefore, please permit that we must have some small presence in the World Wide Web. The idea sort of germinated in Swami's head, and then I won't go into the details. The Central Trust website was set up. And I still recall the small team of boys were set up by Swami to think of what the content should be. And he asked them a question He said, "What do you want in the website of Central Trust?" He asked the boys. So the boys told Swami, "We want an altar for you. We want to be able to worship you. We should be able to sit in front of it, listen to your sweet voice, listen to what you have said, listen to bhajans, and more than anything else, see you." That's what they said. That was the idea which Swami liked, and the website was built and it continued for some time. Suddenly an idea came about a satellite radio, and we had a world space radio with whom we tied up. It was called Radio Sai Global Harmony, and that's how for the first time Mr. Noah Samara and others, Mr. Michael Nobel and others who were interested in that, set up this world space. Of course, the idea was excellent. It was a satellite based radio, but technological changes overtook that medium so fast. But I must say, to the full credit of our esteemed Dr. Venkatraman, he was a man far ahead of the times. Because every time I used to talk to him about why not we put Swami on the commercial, TV circuit. Now, we even had a short arrangement with the Astha channel to carry Swami's message once a week. They did carry it for some time. Swami's darshan was given. But that was not sufficient, and Dr. Venkatraman made it very clear. He said, "See, the future does not lie in this. The future lies in internet and in handheld devices." Those were the days when we didn't imagine that on the handheld device we're going to be able to see Thursday Live and everything that's happening here. But he foresaw all of that, and then he started building the Radio Sai. We had an initial trust called the Media Foundation, which was a separate trust. And that trust started doing this work. And of course, the Central Trust supported it. But the pace at which things grew was so fast that the idea of setting up a studio didn't originate initially, but later on it became essential. The studio was necessary because Dr. Venkatraman said that, there are so many people who come here, we need to talk to them, we need to get their interview, we need to get their views. And this is going to be very important. And more than anything else, he said, Swami has given so many discourses, we need to be able to put that out into the whole world. That was the twin objectives of it. So there was a small video studio and an audio studio that is set up in a kind of a makeshift office here. I remember coming here for summer recordings and meetings and things like that. So from there till now, where have we gone? Today we have Radio Sai Live. Every day what is happening in Sai Kulwant Hall is being seen all over the world by millions of people. There is a Thursday Live program which is an interactive voice-based program. There is a Bhajan a day. There is Sai Inspires, which I never miss a day. My day never starts till I finish reading Sai Inspires, till I finish watching the Thursday Bhajan which is there attached to Sai Inspires, till I hear Bhajan a day. It doesn't start. Like me, I'm sure there are millions of people all over the world. It was inconceivable. Many times it happens that from Puttaparthi I've had to go back a little early ahead of time. So when we reach home, or even before we reach home, we suddenly remember, we're missing Swami, what should we do? So you just pick up your phone, connect onto it, and connect by Bluetooth to your car, and you're actually driving back to Bangalore, listening to what is happening here and watching it on your handset. If I'm not driving, I'll be watching it. If my driver is driving, I have the pleasure of seeing that also. You see, this is something which is unheard of, which is unthinkable. Same thing at home. We have so many advances in technology now that you can screen mirror what you're seeing on your handset. You can screen mirror it from your iPad or whichever system you have. And you have a big television, we have a projector at home, you can actually project it and see it. And you're sitting in front of the Samadhi as though you're literally in front of it. It's inconceivable that this could happen today. Thanks to Radio Sai. And more than anything else, many people staying far away in their own worlds, they are connected to Bhagwan. In fact, my fervent prayer to Bhagwan initially was exactly that, to say, Swami, people from everywhere should be able to come near you, should be able to see you, should be able to perceive you. What a fantastic studio you have. What great music you turn out. And this bhajan a day, you might be surprised to know, in fact, I myself was not aware of it, that it is an actual recording of these pristine bhajans done every day for what we are going to hear. It's not some recording somewhere. So it's actually live, creative environment in which Radio Sai is working. I have no doubt that Swami has blessed it, personally, and he continues to bless it. And there can be no doubt that Radio Sai is only going to grow and grow and grow and grow, and it is going to reach heights which we cannot even imagine. We have now the best of technology available with it, and I'm sure the young minds that are working there with the leadership of some of our seniors, they will take Radio Sai to great heights. It's a wonderful gift from Swami to all his devotees, and I sincerely have to thank the entire Radio Sai team for it, and wish you all the very best, and pray to Swami to keep you motivated, to keep you going, and that's how it is going to be. Because devotion, what is devotion? There can be no devotion without satsang, Adi Shankara says, Satsangatve nissangatvam, nissangatve nirmohatvam, nirmohatve nischalatattvam, nischalatattvam jivan muktihi. So you have to reach mukti. You cannot do it without satsang in the very first. What is greater satsang than being in the company of great people that we're hearing? We are seeing Swami, we are seeing him live, we are seeing his expressions on his face. We are seeing the words that he is uttering. And we are seeing the beautiful bhajans that are sung in front of him, which he is enjoying himself. And all of this percolates into our system. So I think, really speaking, that's the greatest contribution of Radio Sai. And I wish you all the very best. Jai Sai Ram.
I'm delighted to hear about the 20th anniversary of the Sri Satya Sai Media Center, formerly known as Radio Sai. For all Sai devotees all over the world, Radio Sai remains an important means of keeping in touch with the holy abode of Bhagavan Sri Satya Sai Baba, which is Prashanti Nilayam. Radio Sai brings to them not only bhajans but also discourses of Swami and keeps them in touch with all the day-to-day activities of Prashanti Nilayam. I have personally been associated with several programs of the Radio Sai, now known as the Sri Satya Sai Media Center, and I watched with admiration how this media center has grown from strength to strength. And I would like to congratulate Brother Sundar and all those who are associated with the Sri Satya Sai Media Center, and wish them all the very best on their 20th anniversary. Om Jai Sai Ram.
Though Swami is not physically present to communicate with devotees, his spirit continues even now, advising the devotees and guiding them to be on the right path always. Though Swami is not physically present, Radio Sai nearly fills the gap, presenting the guidance and teachings. I feel the media center is doing great service to the devotees through their programs. I pray Swami to continue to shower his grace on the team at Media Center. Sai Ram.
Over the years, several musical productions from our studios have served to connect devotees to their Swami in beautiful ways. In fact, there is no event of Sri Satya Sai Media Center which does not have a lovely musical element being part of it. We now seek to take you back to some of our moving melodies that we have been privileged to offer to Bhagwan.
Prema Swarupulara. Prema Swarupulara. Dorothy David Low. Billy David Low. Benji David Low. Yandy David Low. This is the way to God.
పరితిలో వెలసిన సత్యం నీవు ఆపస్తంభ సూత్రము భారద్వాజ సగోత్రము సాయి బాబాను నీవు సాయి బాబాను నీవు సాయి బాబాను నీవు
True love is an art that leaves tears on my face, and the beat of my heart, it's all part of your grace. There's a song in my soul with a sweet harmony, with you as my goal, you're watching over me. I need nothing more than to think of your name and to know that you love me in this world's crazy game. You're the one true way, and from below and above I dance through your play and I swim in your love. This love never dies, it's a song without end, and these tears in my eyes are for you, my best friend. You're the king of my heart, you're my everything. I know we'll never part, and it's for you I sing. Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba, Sai Baba. This love never dies, it's a song with no end, and these tears in my eyes are for you, my best friend. And I need nothing more than to think of your name. It's bliss, it's bliss, that sweet, sweet name.
माझे माहेर पंढरी आहे भिवरीच्या तीरी. माझे माहेर पंढरी आहे भिवरीच्या तीरी. बाप आणि आई, बाप आणि आई, माझी विठ्ठल रखुमाई, माझे विठ्ठल रखुमाई. माझे माहेर पंढरी, माझे माहेर पंढरी आहे भिवरीच्या तीरी. पुंडलीक राहे बंधो, पुंडलीक राहे बंधो, त्याची ख्याती काय सांगू, त्याची ख्याती काय सांगू. ख्याती काय सांगू माझे माहेर पंढरी माझे माहेर माझे माहेर माझे माहेर पंढरी आहे विवरीच्या तिरी जय जय राम कृष्ण हरी 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 जय जय
गुरुवायूर्पुरनारायणम् गुरुवायूर्पुरनारायणम् कलियुग अवतार नारायणम् कलियुग अवतार नारायणम् गोविन्द गोविन्द नारायणम् गोविन्द गोविन्द नारायणम् गोविन्द गोविन्द नारायणम् गोविन्द गोविन्द नारायणम् कस्तूरी तिलकं नारायणम् कमलनयनं नारायणम् कमलनयनं नारायणम् कस्तूरी तिलकं नारायणम् कस्तूरी तिलकं नारायणम् कस्तूरी तिलकं नारायणम्
In the December of 2018, Bhagwan blessed us to start a new YouTube channel, Sri Satya Sai Prem Vani, specially dedicated to Hindi-speaking devotees. Since then, this channel has grown in leaps and bounds. Every single day, a new video gets uploaded onto this channel. There are close to 700 videos now, with more than 200 hours of content with a reach of 2.6 million views. This has been possible only with the help of so many volunteers who have so gladly and enthusiastically joined hands with us. Here is a Hindi poem from one such dedicated volunteer.
साकार रूप में ईश्वर देखा, निराकार में नश्वर देखा, बातें करते देखा साई, दिव्य रूप हर आखर देखा, कहीं दिव्यता कहीं भव्यता, ऐसा रूप परस्पर देखा, यश वैभव धन कीर्ति कोश से भरा पूरा हर आलय देखा, दीन दुखी दुर्बल के सर पर साई सुख का छप्पर देखा, धरा गगन की लुका छिपी में हमने मेघ बरसते देखा। साई को पग पग पर देखा, शब्द शब्द स्वर भास कर देखा। साई को पग पग पर देखा, शब्द शब्द स्वर भास कर देखा।
Going back to that beautiful day when Swami was in the studio, when he was talking to the members who were present then, suddenly Swami looked at the boys around and Swami said, "Who is going to watch over this place?"
Yes.
And all the boys pointed to Swami and said, "Swami, you are there. You are always there to watch over us." And Swami said, "Adi Adhyatmikam, that is spiritually. But physically, who is going to take care of all this facility and who is going to guide you?" And then the boys seated there, they turned to Professor G. Venkatraman, who was there, and they said, "Swami, he's going to take care." And we said, "Yes, he will take care." I think that is one of the blessings that Swami has given us. Apart from, as Swami himself said, spiritually Swami is always with us, guiding us from within. But Swami also gave us eminent people to be in front of us and become role models and guide us in this beautiful work that Swami has blessed us to do.
Absolutely, absolutely, Prem. In fact, it was Professor G. Venkatraman, the former Vice Chancellor of Sri Sathya Sai Institute of Higher Learning, and he needs no introduction. He is the one who laid the foundation of this sacred institution, helped us to understand how we should learn to marry technology and Bhagwan's message, how we should broaden our perspectives in terms of relating Swami's message to everything that is happening around. It was Sir's training that shaped the initial years of this institution, and Professor Venkatraman was with us for 15 years till 2015. And even after that, Sir continues to guide us, and he's always available whenever we need.
Then Swami sent us Professor Sudhir Bhaskar, who has a very long association with Swami. He has been a Sevadal, he has been a lecturer in Swami's college. He retired as the director of the Prashant Nilayam campus, and his association with Swami dates back to many, many decades. And Swami sent him to be the next director of Radio Sai.
And in December 2018, Bhagwan gave us Mr. S. Sundar. And after Sundar Sir joined Radio Sai, we have started a number of initiatives, starting with the Sri Sathya Sai Premavani, which started in the very month that he joined Radio Sai in December 2018. And now he continues to guide us, he continues to spearhead all the various initiatives that we are engaged in, and we are planning now as we approach the centenary celebrations of Bhagwan. There are lots of things happening, and Bhagwan has again sent someone who can give us direction and fill us with that inspiration to carry the mission forward.
And as we come to the end of this program, we would like to request these eminent gentlemen to share their thoughts on this day, which is very special for each one of us. Over now to the directors, present and the past, of the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center, who will be sharing their thoughts with all of us today.
Loving Sai Ram and greetings from Prashanti Nilayam. I would like to begin by thanking the Sri Sathya Sai Media Center for graciously inviting me to go down memory lane and recall how the seed for the SSSMC was planted about 20 years ago. My recall revolves around two specific incidents or dates. The first date is 23rd November 2001, when what was then called Radio Sai was formally inaugurated by Swami on his 76th birthday. The second date is August 29, 2002, when Swami formally inaugurated the studio of Radio Sai. By the way, I am making that recording in that same studio. Both days are important for the early history of Radio Sai. I do not know what happens in North India, but in South India, there are two important events associated with the construction and the consecration of a temple. The first event is related to the formal completion of the temple building, while the second event concerns the ceremonial installation of the deity in the sanctum sanctorum. The second function is obviously the more important of the two, because that is when the divine is humbly requested to suffuse the idol with divinity. It's only after this that devotees visiting the temple can truly have the sacred darshan of the divine. The ceremony associated with the deification of the idol is called Prana Pratishta, and it literally means breathing divine spirit into the idol. I hope that gives listeners some idea of why the two dates I mentioned earlier are important for the early history of Radio Sai. It should also be no surprise if I regard the second date as being far more important. Many may not be aware, but with Swami, great events mostly happen with very little notice, giving everyone associated with the event little time to get things organized and be ready. The formal inauguration of Radio Sai was no exception. What was unique in this case was that when Swami formally inaugurated Radio Sai on the morning of 23rd November 2001, hardly anyone in the vast Sai Kalwant Hall had any clue what Radio Sai was all about. Indeed, most devotees knew nothing about Radio Sai for a long time, that is to say, until Radio Sai became indispensable. Nevertheless, that inauguration of Radio Sai did take place on the appointed date because there was a divine master plan behind that event. I shall come to that master plan later, but now let me first say something about the birth of Radio Sai on the morning of Swami's 76th birthday. For me, it all began one afternoon, sometime maybe in early August 2001. When I showed up for afternoon darshan, I saw 4 chairs placed on the lower veranda. I had never seen such a thing before. Soon, 4 people came and took their seat. Clearly, Swami knew they were coming. 3 of those who came were clearly Indians, but one was a foreigner. Swami came out for afternoon darshan, went around, and while on his way back to his interview room, he called the special visitors for an interview. When the interview was over, all the visitors left. There was still some time for evening bhajan, and Swami opened the door of the interview room and signaled me to come inside. As an ex-vice chancellor, I was seated on the upper veranda close to the interview room. When I went in, Swami asked me many questions about Geneva. I could not connect. I did not know the context. I did my best and told Swami that while the United Nations Security Council and General Assembly were located in New York, all the other UN organizations were located in Geneva. For example, the World Health Organization or WHO, the World Meteorological Organization or WMO, International Labour Union or ILO, the International Communication Committee or ICC, and so on. Swami could see that I was unable to connect with him. And so what he did was to pick up a brochure left behind by the visitors, and he gave it to me. That brochure had been produced by WorldSpace with its headquarters in Geneva. WorldSpace offered satellite radio service to developing countries for promoting via satellite radio education, social welfare, and similar activities related to public good. The satellite that they had launched for this purpose was known as Asia Star, and it was located over the Asian continent. It was time for evening bhajans, and Swami asked me to leave. I thought the matter of satellite radio, world space, etc. was over, but I was wrong. A few days later, Mr. Chakravarti, who was in charge of administrative matters related to the Central Trust, told me that the World Space India, which was a branch of World Space International, had offered to donate a free radio channel to the trust. The trust decided to accept the offer from World Space India so that Swami's message could directly reach devotees all over India and indeed over Asia. Swami wanted the satellite service to be launched on the occasion of his 76th birthday. I was stunned. I had absolutely no clue how I was going to get a satellite radio station launched and keep it going with no studio, no staff, no required equipment, etc. In fact, I did not even have a decent microphone. So you can imagine my plight. Nevertheless, since it was Swami's master plan that his message must reach the world at the speed of light, Radio Sai was born on the appointed date. The first part of Swami's master plan had gone into action. I should mention that back then, the internet did not exist. The launch of the satellite radio service was thus indeed a very big deal. I now come to the second part of Swami's master plan, associated with the formal inauguration of what came to be known as the Radio Sai studio. Basically, what happened was that when Swami came to the premises on that date, he lit the ceremonial lamp, following which I gave him a short tour. He then entered the studio room, which is where I am speaking from. There was a chair placed for him. He went to the chair and sat on it. Knowing what Swami expected of me, I took care to be sufficiently far away from Swami so that others could be close to him. Swami asked one of the boys to speak. That was normal. Following this, Swami, sitting in the chair, made many remarks, almost casually, very much in the Trai tradition. As far as I was concerned, Swami was silently sending a message to me. Swami's message to me was simply the following: Avatars come once in a blue moon. They incarnate mainly to give humanity a divine message. Your job is to absorb and assimilate my teaching and help every devotee to make his or her life my message. I was never formally asked to be the director of Radio Sai or anything like that. It was an unstated signal from Swami that I take care of Radio Sai while I was associated with it. Radio Sai grew, and so did technology. Swami often said that people convert technology into technology. I hope I did not do that. Well, that's it for today. And before I sign off, I do hope that Swami would give me at least a B+ for what I tried to do. Once again, I offer my thanks to the Sri Satya Sai Media Center for its kind invitation. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Best wishes to all. God bless and Jai Sai Ram.
Sai Ram to all the Radio Sai listeners and the viewers on the YouTube channel. It's been a long journey, and I just joined a few years back and completed my term of 3 years as director. Let me go back to the start. When I was in the university as a faculty, I had a number of opportunities to be present in the interview room with Swami, either alone or with some students or some elders. During those times, we used to have a lot of interaction. We had a lot of liberties to ask questions. And Swami would give all types of clarifications which is needed, irrespective of what the question is. My role normally used to be a silent witness and absorb whatever Swami is saying. For I knew if I wanted something, he would have told me. Definitely, clarified. But I thought instead of me wanting something, I would wait for Swami to provide what is needed by me. And I hope you know the difference between want and a need. Thereby, I had a lot of information from Swami which I needed to process at different points in time in my own life, so that I will be able to become a better citizen and also move on the path of spiritual progress. But one thing which occurred to me based on the interaction I used to have with Swami, Swami said, you may not get this type of opportunity to seek information for a long time. A time will come when others are going to get this type of opportunity and you will have to be content with what information you have got. In those times, I used to have this requirement saying that Swami, now it's fine, but as time progresses, how do we seek clarifications for the things, or how will you be providing us inputs which are needed for our spiritual progress? For that, two things Swami said directly to me. One, look for me inside you and I will talk to you. Though it's very easy said than done, it takes a long effort. Second one, which was more easy, was Swami said, when you need some information, I will provide it. In different ways, it will come to you, but you must be alert enough to know that information is meant for you, for your progress. So this was always in my mind, and post 2011, the need became even more, and this is what was really solace for us. And one of the things was what was being sent out as mails called Sai Inspires. And daily I used to look at that, and many a times for things which were actually bothering me, the answers would be there. It's not my experience alone. This has been the experience of thousands and thousands of devotees who receive this particular Sai Inspires every day in the morning. I know quite a few industrialists, top industrialists, who actually get up in the morning, first open their mailbox, only look for Sai Inspires. As technology it is, sometimes, they don't get it in time. So first thing they used to happen is, they used to call me up or send me a message, hey, I have not received today's Sai Inspires. Could you kindly forward it again for me? That is the type of interest they had in this particular Sai Inspires. And come to think of it, I just asked many a time some of these people and many other individuals from corporate sector whom I knew, they used to say that no, some issue has been bothering us in the office, and we struggled, looked at so many options and alternatives, and none of them are working. And when we finally come to a dead end and see that no, okay, how do we progress? Where do we go now? And suddenly the next day morning in the Sai Inspires, there will be a sentence from Swami. Thinking about it, it flashes to them what the solution is. Many of these corporate managers did tell me, the moment they received this, they used to forward it to their colleagues who are part of their particular group. And they used to go meet in the office and discuss what Swami has said. And lo and behold, there the solution is, which comes like out of the blue. I'm not talking about just only in terms of the professional work. So is the case with personal, and so is the case with spiritual. Many of them used to send me back replies saying that no, this has happened today with us. This is how it has been. Thank you very much. And I think now more than 1 lakh plus individuals receive on a daily basis, early in the morning, I think about 3:30 it gets sent, and by 4 o'clock in the morning, India time, it is there in their email box. And that one thing which has revolutionized their connect with Swami. And this is what everybody has been telling. And that's really something which is, I think, is only by Swami's grace that Radio Sai has been able to achieve this type of an achievement or service being done. Another one which now I would like to just mention is, many individuals nowadays, they have to travel for an hour or two from their residence to their offices. And the type of chaos which is there on the road, just to beat that particular stress, I heard many people say that they download from Radio Sai a discourse, a couple of discourses, which has made a lot of impact on them, and they would like to listen to it over and over and over again, because every time they listen once more, some more insight they get into themselves. When I joined during the 90th birthday celebrations. One of the first acts which we did was to merge then what was originally started as standalone unit, Sri Sathya Sai Media Foundation, as a separate trust which was running the unit, and with parent organization Sri Sathya Sai Central Trust. It was merged, and then with that we had a lot of inputs coming to us, a lot of resources which came, by which we were able to grow both in quality of the content and the number of contents which is available for the devotees. I thought these are the two things I would like to mention to the viewers and listeners of this particular program, how Radio Sai has been able to transform the lives of individuals, both professionally, personally, as well as spiritually. I would like to wish the staff of Sri Sathya Sai Media Center all the best for the next decade plus.